Okay, so we are going to talk about lens calibration. You've done this already. I'm just going to show you, before doing the test, why is it important. First, maybe on this camera, we can see here a lens. I'll show it this way. And I'm not sure that you can see properly, but we have the focus mark and the focus barrel here. So what we are going to do with lens calibration is make sure that the focus mark and the focus barrel, when we put one distance, a particular distance, it means that it's correct. It means, like for this example, here I've put 1.5 meters. If I put my lens on my camera, I should have correct focus at 1.5 meters. There are different elements that may prevent that. So if we go back a little bit, we've seen that we have our lens like this. We have our camera mount that goes here within the lens. And we have our sensor right there. As our camera here, and most of the cameras in digital, cinema, and for professional cameras, for example, in school you have the F55 and the Alexa. These two cameras have the same mount, this part in the camera, where you attach the lens to the camera body. This mount is a PL mount. That means positive locking. This is the mount here. And the PL mount has a flange focal depth of 52.00 millimeters. What that means is that the distance between my mount in my camera, if you can pan here, my mount is here, and the distance between this side of my mount and the sensor is exactly 52.00 millimeters. That's the ideal case. Maybe my mount here is not at 52.00 but 52.01 or something like this. Or maybe, if I don't have a correct focus, it's because the other side of the mount that goes in the lens, this part, is a little bit more, or a little bit less than it should be, that it is expected. So, as we are talking about lens calibration, we are checking the part of the mount that belongs to the lens and the part of the mount that belongs to the camera. Because I can have a correct lens but an incorrect camera, I will have an incorrect flange focal distance or an incorrect back focus for the lens. That means I will not have a perfect lens calibration. But I could have an incorrect mount and an incorrect lens, just the two work one against each other. For example, if my lens is +1 and my mount -1, it's equal to 0. So I will have a correct lens calibration, but maybe an incorrect camera and an incorrect lens. So that's what we are trying to find today by doing lens calibration. Are my lenses correct? Is my camera correct? So the first thing that I want to do here, because we are talking about tenths or hundredths of a millimeter, that is a very, very, very small distance, but that can have big consequences for my camera and for my lens calibration. The first thing that I want to do is to see, but as you arrive at lens calibration for your camera preparation, when you arrive at this stage, you must have clean lenses and clean mounts. But the first thing I want to do is to see if my mounts on the lens side and on the camera side are clean. Because just a little bit of dust or something like this can cause me to have an incorrect back focus or an incorrect flange focal distance. So the first stage here, and we can see that this mount is completely dirty. The first stage will be to clean it, because if it is not clean, it will never be good. So this is the first stage. So I'm taking lens cleaner and this, and I'm cleaning the lens mount. You have to be precise and only clean the mount. The rest with the sensor is very sensitive and it should be good. If it is not good, you should have seen it before during preparation. So I do this for my camera, obviously, but I do this also for every lens that I have. Here, I don't know if you can see, but the mount was completely dirty. So just this small amount of dirt on my mount could make me have an incorrect lens calibration. And I will do the same for every lens that I have. So once I have cleaned all my lenses and my mount, I know that the distance that I will be looking at is the best distance for my mount and my lenses. So what is the principle of lens calibration? In order to see if we have a correct lens calibration, we are going to look at sharpness charts, like these ones. But we must be in certain conditions. We have to be at a particular distance, given by the charts. We have to be wide open, because it will be the easiest way for us to get rid of the depth of field. And we have to be perpendicular to the surface that we are filming. Because if we are filming like this, and we are perpendicular to it, and if we are filming like this, but not perpendicular, the distance that we will measure from the camera to the sharpness charts will be good here for the center of my image, but also for the borders of my image. And this way, I will be able to see if the focus is good at the center, but also on the corners. If here, my distance is only good for the middle, because here would be my object plane, and here I am out of focus, and here I am out of focus. So with this, I can only measure my focus, my sharpness, in the center of the lens. So that's what we don't want to do, because we want to see the whole image. So how do we do this? The first step is finding the distance. To find the distance, we can refer to the different charts that we have. It's written on it. For example, for this kind of charts, it is written to look at it at 60 times the focal distance. For these types of charts that I prefer, they say to use it at 50 times the distance. So how does this work? I have here my lens sets that are composed by a 20 millimeter, 25 millimeters, 35, 50, 80, and 185. These are all in millimeters. So to find my correct distances, I multiply by 50. So 20 times 50 equals 1000 equals 1000 millimeters, 1 meter. For the 25, 150, 0.25 meters, etc. So I can calculate everything. 50, 50 par 50, 5 by 50, and 185 by 50. So this one, 1m50, 1m50, 125, 750. 50 par 50, 2m50, 55, 540, 4 mètres, 4 5, 5. Ok. 6 meter, yeah. 6 meter. 75?
6 meter and 75 millimeter.
75, you sure? Okay.
70 and 75.
Yeah. Okay. So here I have the distances that would be correct for me to have the same magnification of the focal charts. But the first thing that I will see here is that these distances, with the room that I have here, I will never be able to have them. So I will first look here on the lens and see that I have 3.6 meters and 5 meters. So I think that I will try at 3.6 because I need to have a mark, an actual mark on my barrel. And 5 meters, I think I will never be able to go there. So I will also go to 3.6, but it's because I'm limited by my lens. In fact, I say that, but I'm not sure. In fact, it's 3.5 on the 180. And for other lenses, this is the 50. I have 2.5. I don't have 2.5 on my focus barrel, so it will be 2. And for other lenses, the 35, 1.75, I don't have it. So 1.5. For the 25, 1.2. And for the 20, I don't have 1 meter, I have 0.9 meters. So here are the theoretical distance where I should be. But the problem is I don't find them on my barrel, my focus barrel. So I'm trying to find the closest distance. And sometimes, even if it's not the closest, I'm limited by space, so I find a distance that is a little bit shorter. So now I have all these distances,